Melvin Garrett in there.
No.
They wanted to do some things with him. I haven't even
He's got
seen.
a sore shoulder.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him anywhere.
Yeah. Got a shoulder. Remember, he was doing all the punt returning last week.
Yeah.
Now he's not even on the field.
Tony? Somewhere, you know, old Tim Stokes had a tough first half, but he may have settled down this half, so, you know maybe we can balance
Yeah,
it
good
if we
point.
have something.
Be nice. Second and 2 for the Giants on the Skins' 47-yard line at the start of the fourth quarter, and the ball game deadlocked 7-7. Washington driving for its touchdown on a couple of big passes to Art Monk and 2 to Ricky Thompson, and the second pass to Thompson was good for the touchdown. But suddenly the Giants were fortunate. Mike Nelms, trying to field a punt with one hand, fielded it and then fumbled. The punt was recovered by Frank Marion, and the Giants scored. Billy Taylor punched it over. And now on a partially blocked punt by Byron Hunt, the Giants take over, and they have it 2nd and 2 on the Washington 47 at the start of the fourth quarter. Slot left, Freedy and Perkins in the slot. Second man is Billy Taylor. Taylor got down to about the 42-yard line, which is plenty for a first down. What's new with the Rams and New Orleans? Well, New Orleans on a 23-yarder from Bobby Scott to Wes Chandler. Meanwhile, Atlanta now waking up a little bit. 2-yard run by William Andrews. 17-10 Green Bay. 1st and 10 from the 42. Slot right. Billy Taylor. Diving maybe to the 41-yard line. He worked hard to purchase 1 yard.
I think maybe, you know, one thing we were talking about Tim Stokes early in the first half, number 74, and it looks like he's calmed down this second half. He's getting off, you know, on the regular starting count. He's blocking in there against Brooks. He gets a little movement, and of course there's no hole there, but Stokes looks like he's starting to settle down and do a pretty good job, Ben.
It is 2nd and 9 for the Giants on the Washington 41. Play action fake by Sims. Throwing in a crowd, and a great reception by the tight end Gary Shirk. And a perfectly thrown ball as Kevin Turner finally makes the hit inside the 25-yard line. That's the second big catch for Shirk.
You know, I think Sims did that. I think he went in at halftime and he said, "That's over. I'm coming out in a new half." Because watch his throw. We can see Shirk there. He doesn't have a lot of area to throw that ball, and that pass had to be a perfect pass, and it was.
Well, he rolled a while, so they're going to spot it on the Washington 24-yard line. 1st and 10. Freedy and Perkins go left, but Taylor's going to run outside. Got by Mendenhall and spins inside the 20-yard line. Mark Murphy, the center fielder in the defense, came up to hit him.
I think this is what we were talking about that the Giants have to do. You can't pass all the time, nor can you run all the time on first down or any other down. You have to have mixture, and they look like, along with field position, that they have it going now.
So it is 2nd and 5. The ball is on the Skins' 19-yard line. Freedy and Perkins left, and Tom Mulledy, they tell us he has a broken bone in his hand, but he's the tight end on the right side. Broken bone or no. Billy Taylor's trying to cut, and Olkowitz wrapped him up with Kevin Turner. For a moment, he had some daylight, and they filled it in nicely, did Olkowitz and Turner.
Yeah, we saw Mulledy there, and it does look like he has a broken hand, but I think on that reception, I think that Shirk may have hurt himself, and of course they only have the 2 tight ends.
He's
and
coming
Shirk
back
can't
in
play,
now, John.
Mulledy has to.
So Shirk is back in, along with...
Now there'll be 2 tight ends, and this is where
you know
George
who the tight
Martin,
end is? George Martin.
George Martin, the defensive end, comes in along with Shirk and Mulledy.
And they put them both, well, they had them both on the right side. Now they move Mulledy over with Shirk. Straight ahead is Leon Perry. Just a question of spotting the ball. It would appear as if he made the first down.
Yep.
He did. Take a look at that again. Martin is the tight end on the right side, but they go the other way.
They bring motion, so they had their strength on this side. We see the lead block there.
Billy
Did you
Taylor.
see Billy Taylor lead right there, and we see Leon Perry right in behind him. The little dive over for the first down.
1st and 10 on the Skins' 14-yard line.
I think the Redskins took timeout.
Washington, that's the first timeout.
Mark Murphy, who is a defensive captain, is coming to the sidelines. No doubt wants to get a few things squared away. 7-7 with 11:10 left in the game. Yep. Kiss your flight goodbye. And we'll go right through U.S. Open tennis.
You got that one.
Would that
in
be
your hawk.
terrible? Hawk. Hawk. All right.
You mean the Giants aren't going to score here, Tony? Let me see what's going on over there in the Giants sideline. Give me
10 seconds, stand by. 5 seconds.
Tonight on CBS, look at this lineup. 60 Minutes, the 33rd Annual Emmy Awards, and One Day at a Time. Well, these two clubs playing it one play at a time now for sure, because with 11 minutes left, the Giants in great field position. They have it 1st and 10 on the 14. Freedy and Perkins left. Taylor and Perry in the backfield. Gary Shirk is the tight end, and it's Billy Taylor spinning across the 10, and Mel Kaufman drops him at about the 9-yard line.
Did you see who led that block, Vin? That was Tim Stokes on that. It was a tackle trap. You don't see that very often. Most of the time on trap plays, the guards are the trapping linemen, and on that play, it was the left tackle, Tim Stokes, who pulled and opened the hole.
Though Stokes, as you mentioned, appears to have settled down, and suddenly in a crash course, he's starting to feel at home. 2nd and 5 on the 8. Freedy goes left, Perkins goes wide right, and Shirk is in motion, and Leon Perry in a foot race, grabbed by Kaufman and brought down out of bounds, running laterally just about at the line of scrimmage.
And he isn't going to beat Kaufman in a foot race. That's one thing that rookie Mel Kaufman has, is speed.
There's your graph on rushing, John. Not too much of a discrepancy now.
No, it's getting closer, and we can see when the Giants didn't have anything going, they had no rushing. Now as that blue line is starting to rise, so is their success.
So 3rd and 3, the ball is on the 7-yard line. Shirk, the tight end, is on the left side this time. Taylor and Perry, and Perkins in motion. Sims going too low. It was intended for the tight end on the left side, Gary Shirk, who was guarded nicely by Tony Peters. Meanwhile, for one brief shining moment, it was Camelot for Green Bay. But look at that. Atlanta has caught them on a 30-yard pass. Steve Bartkowski to Alfred Jenkins.
That's what I said earlier, that Atlanta has too many great players on offense to be held down. This is Joe Danello's first shot. I saw him yesterday, and he said he'd like to kick 5 today.
Well, he'll get a shot at 1.
Well, here's 1, and he better hurry up to get 4 more.
The spot at the 15, the hole by Scott Bruner, 25-yard field goal is up. It is good. So Joe Danello, look out, fight on the field. It is Neil Olkowitz. Neil Olkowitz, the middle linebacker, and Ernie Hughes, the center, are being separated.
You see who was out there? The holder, Scott Bruner, was out there trying to break it up.
That's no place for a holder to be.
Those quarterbacks usually get out of the way.
Neil Olkowitz a little hot, trying to knock a syllable out of Hughes. Yeah, just a matter of time.
Look, Danello's in there too, but he's not.
Yeah, look at Hughes, wants to choke him now.
Yeah, where is Danello?
Look at Bruner.
I know it. Well,
yeah,
look at Bruner. Look, he gets in there, the holder. Look, he's the guy that ends up breaking it up.
Who is that he's first started out with? Is that 87? Is that Shirk?
That was Shirk.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It was Shirk.
Yeah, okay.
10 seconds. Stand by.
With 10:20 left in the game, the Giants have taken a 10-7 lead. Metcalf is deep on the goal line with Nelms at the 10, but it'll be Terry Metcalf from 2 yards in the end zone. Behind a little wedge. He's going to be boxed in and got away from Jackson, and Beasley Reese neckties him at about the 17-yard line. It doesn't tell you about the fact that Byron Hunt partially blocked the punt, and it led to the 25-yard field goal. But here's the fight. Neil Olkowitz and Gary Shirk. Now Ernie Hughes comes over to be the peacemaker, and suddenly he's holding on to Olkowitz, and Olkowitz gets mad at Hughes. Jarris White comes over to try and calm things down. Scott Bruner, the quarterback, came over to take a look.
He came over to take a look, which they usually do, and he ended up breaking it up.
Joe Danello is a wise head. He was long gone.
Kickers and quarterbacks usually get off the field.
1st and 10 from the 17. Theismann, a little release to Wilbur Jackson, and on the screen, Wilbur is on the move. It's across the 25-yard line, very close to a first down. Jeff Bostic, the center, throwing a good block to help him. And New Orleans forging back after Pat Hayden had passed to Preston Denard. It is now New Orleans 23, Los Angeles 17. And Buffalo holding on to that 21-3. Joe Ferguson's latest touchdown, a 5-yard pass to Mark Brammer. And a player, that's Harry Carson, shaken up. And Wilbur Jackson, who caught that little release, kind of a safety valve pass, Jackson was shaken up. The Giants are leading 10-7, 9:44 left in the game. What's left, John? We haven't seen the flood. Well, we did see the flood once.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten to character, and this would be part of it, coming from behind, huh?
Yeah, that could be. The other thing is, we were talking about the tired, and I think that it looks like the intensity is picking up as they get tired.
Yeah. Fulton Kuykendall, they call him Captain Crazy down there in Georgia, just ran a 20-yard interception for a touchdown. Atlanta leading 24-17. First and 10 Skins on the Washington 27. Theismann going to the left side. He's got Metcalf at midfield, and Terry is into Giant territory at the 49.
You know, we talked in the first half how the heat and how warm it was and so on, but now in the last quarter, the intensity of this game has seemed to pick up. It looks like they're going a little harder. The tackling is crisper. Everyone looks a little quicker right now. And again, he hit Metcalf right in the hole in the zone between the linebackers and the secondary.
So it is first and 10 Washington on the Giant 49. In motion is Metcalf. Wilbur Jackson, the setback, trying to get outside, and he is stacked up. Don Warren, the tight end, had just too many blue shirts to block. He got some help from May, but it wasn't enough, and the play broke down. And Warren helped up by Lawrence Taylor.
One that played that well was Phil Tabor, the right defensive end. Mark May was trying to block him, and he just took Mark May and put him in the backfield, and there was no cut for Jackson.
Don Warren, after that skirmish, the tight end comes out, so does Terry Metcalf. Art Monk comes back in, along with Greg McCrary and Virgil Say. So the running backs are Jackson and Harmon. Theismann down the right side, and Art Monk stepped out of bounds, or was he out of bounds when he caught the ball? They're going to call him back. And I believe he stepped out while catching the ball, so it is no completion.
Well, not, but Joe Theismann watches Monk all the way. Look, he's looking to his right the whole way. Haynes was on him. He broke away from Haynes, and he hit right over his head, and that left foot was on the sideline.
And then for good measure, he turned, and the right came out as well. That was a good call.
It was a good call because when he caught the ball, his left foot was out of bounds.
So 3rd and 10 on the Giant 49. But suddenly now a couple of receivers have been wide open. Metcalf was open, and of course Monk would have been, except for the fact he stepped out.
Mark Haynes, the quarterback, wasn't real close on the coverage, but he was the first one there to point to the official that his foot was out of bounds.
Monk goes right, Virgil Say goes left. Harmon and Jackson. And the ball is wobbly thrown and dropped because they were all over Joe Theismann. Right now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburg up the road in New York. Okay, Brent, on a 4th and 10, Mike Connell having to punt, and he hit it up in the clouds. There's no chance for, they'll just let the ball bounce and go into the end zone, and the Giants will take over, and there's a little more fisticuffs on the field. This time it is Joe McLaughlin, and he's battling young Darrell Grant, but they break it up. So tempers are getting as hot as the weather. It's about 92, and it is 10-7 Giants with 7:45 left.
Yeah, let's see it.
Is that
Yeah,
Dexter
there's
Manley?
3 guys. Yeah, there's 3. There's
Is
3.
that something?
Yeah.
He is. What a horse. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
All right, please ask Bob to lower his volume. That's just absolutely painful. That's a little better. It's a killer. It really is a killer. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I've got the thing almost off my head, and it's still piercing. Yeah, people in the lower deck are turning and looking up to find out who's making the noise.
They're upset.
The Giants put it in play, 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line, leading 10-7 with 7:45 left in the game. Freedy comes left, Perkins goes right, Shirk is the tight end on the right side, and they have Coder and Matthews behind Sims. It'll be Coder. And Coder gets out to the 25-yard line, so he purchased 5. Question now of whether the Giants can hold on to the ball and get a drive going on their own. The other two is the defense.
There's Olkowitz. He always leads his team in tackles. He did last year and he did last week. And you know, on both sides of him at the linebackers, he has 2 rookies now. Mel Kaufman, and of course Kevin Turner's not a rookie, but they just got him from the Giants, second-year man.
2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line. In motion is Perkins. And Doug Coder maybe got a yard or 2, but Coy Bacon is furious at himself because Bacon had a shot about 3 yards behind the line, and he just did slither by him. He might be getting a little tired.
I think he's also upset with someone else that one of the Giants he thought maybe held him. So he was upset that what was that, slithered? That's a good
slithered.
word.
I
never slithered anywhere in my life.
There's Coy, 14 years out of Jackson State. He was in 3 Pro Bowls. It is 3rd and 3 from the Giant 27. Sims looking for Coder. Coy Bacon broke it up and caught it and dropped it. Coy Bacon, they're going to argue that he had held it and fumbled it and it was recovered, but I think the officials are just going to rule it an incomplete pass.
Now watch Coy Bacon here again. He's to the left. He's against Tim Stokes. He starts in there right outside your screen. Now he comes up, and that's what a good lineman does. When the offensive man goes to cut him, he goes up to jump up. He did, tipped it. And Coy's saying, I wish I would have caught that one, but I'm just wearing too many pads in my hands.
Say one thing, he's anything but coy out there, huh? Dave Jennings gets it away a little bit low, however. It'll be fielded by Mike Nelms from the 21 to the 35. And down he goes. Brian Kelly is on top of him. And now Washington has 6 minutes, plenty of time, and in reasonably good field position, as they will put it in play 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. Don't forget, immediately following the game, the finals, United States Open Tennis Championships. For the men's championship, John McEnroe be on board. First and 10 on the Washington 37, Kansas City leading Tampa Bay 19-10. It's going to go to Wilbur Jackson, and the pass is partially deflected.
Partially defected by his right tackle, George Stark. Stark was out there on a screen, and and there was a blitz. Brad Van Pelt came, and Theismann threw the ball, and it hit George Stark right between the 7 and the 4 in the back.
Well, Theismann, with 48 passes last week, has thrown it 32 times. Meanwhile, Sims has thrown 6 for 24. 2nd and 10 on the Skins 37. Theismann down the left side, intercepted by Courier. Courier was down, and a flag, so hold everything. The Giants are acting like there might have been pass interference. Let's see.
I think it's against the Redskins, Finn. I think it'll be the Giants' ball.
Right.
See what happens. See, it's a little roll. Now, I think if he would have thrown to the intermediate guy right there in front, it may have been there, but he's throwing to the deeper man, and of course, Courier was there for the interception.
Interception wipes it away. 1st and 10, and the Giants have the ball in good position on their own 44, leading by 3. A sellout crowd at RFK, but that's nothing new. 109 consecutive sellouts here. 1st and 10, Giant 44. Now let's see. Coder moved in the backfield, and Coy Bacon took off after him. But I think Coder was the one who came up and started towards the line. But maybe it was someone up front as well.
Look at them arguing on both sides. Bacon is pointing one way, and we have the JT Turner in there pointing the other side.
Offense.
That's poor Tim Stokes.
Tim Stokes. And it was right behind him was Coder, so he was probably watching Stokes and instinctively moved. And look at that. Bum Phillips has done it, and the Saints can take off the bags off the faces of the fans. It's 23-17 New Orleans. Fine.
Give him to L.A.
Holy mackerel. Give him to L.A. Have to put sequins on him.
Yeah, they'll tell him, take these bags home with you.
1st and 15 on the 38. Complete to Gary Shirt. Tony Peters brings him down at about the same line of scrimmage.
And Sims is saying someone has to block someone inside because I can't take too many more of those. Did you see that? Perry Brooks again came right up the middle and was hanging around Sims's neck as he threw that last one.
Talking about saying I can't take many more of those, that's what Doug Coder had to say. He was just driven to his knees on that rush. That's Gordy King, number 72, and Sims coming back into the huddle has a 2nd and 11. The ball is on the Giant 43. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. The Giants, who came in here the underdogs, leading 10-7 on a fumble recovery and a partially blocked kick. Perry and Taylor staying in. The pass is blocked by number 69, Perry Brooks. He's 6'3", and got his hands up.
They're having a little trouble in there with Brooks on the pass protection, and sometimes it's JT Turner and sometimes it's Ernie Hughes, the center, because they're just allowing too much penetration, and that's tough for Sims.
I love the way you said he's having a little trouble. That's like saying the Titanic had a rough voyage. It is 3rd and 11 on the Giant 43.
You know, it's hard to say they're having a lot of trouble in there blocking Perry Brooks when he comes up the middle.
3rd and 11. Perry stays in to block. And the pass is to Freedy. And Freedy makes the reception to the Washington 35-yard line. Jarris White knocks him down, but what a big play on 3rd down with 5.5 minutes left.
And you know why it was a big play? He got it up past the 1st down marker. But look at this pass protection. Look, see, he can step up there now and throw the ball. Butts comes in late, the ball's gone, there's no one there, and then Freedy can go to work on Joe Lavender.
And I'll tell you one thing, it was Tim Stokes who rode Bacon away from him, and that's why he had that time.
Sure did.
The 1st and 10 on the Washington 36. John Missler is wide left. Perkins has been in motion all day. He's got to be exhausted. And Billy Taylor spinning, and Mark Murphy takes him down with a hard tackle. You think John Perkins is getting a little discouraged? All they keep saying to Perkins is go in motion.
I know that has to be tough because, of course, the field is 53 yards wide, and when you run from one end to the other, you've run 50 yards before you gain a yard. So if you run a 25-yard pattern and you add 50 yards to it, that's 75, and then you have to go back, that's 25, that's 100.
That's too much.
Just keep adding. You got a calculator. There are other things he has.
You need an odometer. Johnny Perkins, number 86, has spent this 90-degree day running from one side of the field to the other. He's in a slot left. On a quick handoff, they get out across the 30-yard line as Leon Perry was following a block by JT Turner in the center, Ernie Hughes.
And now this is a big down for the Giants. We see there's 4 minutes to go, and one of the things that's important here is ball control, that they keep it and don't let the Redskins have it back.
So on a fumble recovery, a partially blocked punt, and an interception, the Giant defense has really handled the ball to the offense. This is a 3rd and 4 from the 30. Perkins right, Missler left, and look out. Kevin Turner's going to eat him up at the 35-yard line. There's so much for that play on a 3rd and 4.
That was going to be a bootleg. We see Sims's frustration. It didn't work. Kevin Turner was telling Sims, he said, you know, I played with you. I was in your training camp. I know those plays. You aren't going to fool me. Try and fool the kid on the other side, Mel Kaufman, because he's from Cal Poly.
And then he had a nerve to help him up and pat him on the back.
He said, yeah, that's
Great
what Sims
call.
is saying. Hey, look, why against Turner? He knows the plays. Bruner's saying, yeah, he forgot him.
Yeah. 4th and 8 on the 34. He forgot him all right. And Dave Jennings will try and kick one out. Mike Nelms is deep on the 10 on the left side, and Terry Metcalf is on the right. Jennings standing back at the 50.
Waiting for a pooch. He's going to
Uh-oh, flag.
too much time. He wanted too much time here, Vin. He wants to get the ball back where it have a better angle to get it out inside the 10.
Rather than kick it into the end zone.
Yeah, see, he's going to get on the headset and talk. I don't know who he would talk to that would tell him, Dave, why don't you pooch it? Don't punt it.
Yeah.
Don't get it in. Try and pooch it inside the 10.
Hey, John,
or Dave, Dave, or hit it out of bounds inside the 10. Yeah, okay, good.
Or he says wrong number. Yeah. All right, Jennings got it all squared away now. Laces up, bombs away. 4th and 8 from the 34. What a punter, Dave Jennings. And Mike Connell has done well. So it's been a battle of the punters, but wait a minute.
They didn't mark off the penalty.
They refused it.
Oh, yeah, the Redskins refused the penalty because they knew what the Giants were trying to do. So all that talk we had with Jennings didn't do any good. The Redskins didn't take the penalty. Smart. That's good.
4th and 8 with 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Let's see if Dave can get it out of bounds. Nope. So after all of that, Dave Jennings, a very frustrated punter. He tried to get it out inside the 10, but he kicked it into the end zone despite that long distance call. Take another look at the punt. In fact, you didn't even have to look at the ball. If you just watch Jennings, you know that he did not do what he wanted to do.
No. Right now, we know that. See the hands, and he said I should have pooched it.
Yeah. Well, there'd be a lot of frustration and a lot of joy shared by one and then by the other. United States Open Tennis Championships upcoming, McEnroe and Borg. With 2:57, 1st and 10 for the Skins on their 20. Theismann deep to Ricky Thompson. And he made the reception OB at the 45. No good.
I tell you, that was awfully close, though, and that's the play that the Redskins need now. They need something. Of course, they have plenty of time with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, but they need something to get them out of this field position up to midfield. You see what happened? The ball just went boom right out of there.
So it is 2nd and 10 at the 20. 2:50. And Atlanta now has found the combination to the Green Bay safe. 31-17. Fumble returned by Joel Williams. 55 yards for the latest touchdown. 2nd and 10. Theismann gets belted. He got hit by Tabor. It's picked up by Martin, and Martin scores a touchdown. It was Phil Tabor who hit him, and it was Martin who carried it over. How do you do? And look at Joe Theismann. He never saw Tabor.
No, he didn't see him because that's from the blind side. You know, Tabor has really been playing well for this team, and Joe Theismann said, I can't do anything about that one, but watch him come. See, he's turned to the right. You see Tabor come from his back. He doesn't see him, and when he gets hit, the ball pops out. George Martin saying, I haven't had one of these things in years. Let's see if I still remember what to do with it. Take it in the end zone.
By the way, it is George Martin's 4th touchdown in his career. So he's had his share of them.
Well, you know, because he's a tight end on short yardage and goal line offense.
Anello gets it up. Flag on the play. Look at Tabor hitting Theismann now, John.
This is the thing. Now, again, watch. He can't see. See, he can see Martin coming. He's looking downfield to his right. Look, he's just getting ready to throw. Now, what? Right. Ooh, I didn't see it. What happened? Oh.
Oh, it is 17-7 in favor of the Giants, thanks to the defense. Fumble recovery, partially blocked kick, and now the sack. All right, do I have to put audio on him, or are you just going to punch him up? Don't forget, immediately after the game, McEnroe and Borg for the men's final in the United States Open Tennis Championships. We are 2 minutes and 43 seconds away from the end of the game, and the Giants, thanks to some great defensive plays, are leading the Redskins 17-7 after a scoreless first half. There was motion penalty against Washington when that point after was made, so you can see Danilo teed the ball up on the 40-yard line.
He's smiling. He says, watch this one fly into the end zone.
Terry Metcalf is deep, and Metcalf has to go in the end zone to handle it, and he's going to take it out. And he is squeezed as he got across the 15-yard line. Marion and Jackson, but there are flags on the play. Frank Marion, number 51, of course, made a big play. It got the Giants really started.
The Redskins have to go right back on offense. They'll have that return plus a penalty tacked on, and they're going to be backed up right against that goal line, staring at about 96 yards.
Number 88, high illegal block.
That's Rick Walker, who played under Eagles coach Dick Vermeil when he was at UCLA.
That sounds like some kind of dive or something. High illegal block.
Or an advertising concern. Look at Kansas City beat Tampa Bay 19-10. Buffalo 28, Baltimore 3 in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 4. So Theismann 96 yards away, but he's down by 10. Martin crawling to get at him. The pass is to Wilbert Jackson, and Van Pelt and Kelly finally bring him down along with Courier. Bring him down as he got across the 10-yard line. They'll spot it at the 13.
The Redskins will go without a huddle here. They want to play before the 2-minute warning.
Theismann to Jackson again. Same play, same result. Van Pelt and Kelly bring him down at the 15. That's just about a first down, and we're coming to the 2-minute warning. So it is a first down. We can duck in some scores. That awesome San Diego ball club that chewed up Cleveland, well, they are leading Detroit 7-0 in the first quarter.
They'll have to stop Billy Sims all day, though, man.
I can hear the horns on Bourbon Street as New Orleans upset the Rams, and I can hear the hollering in Anaheim. 23-17, New Orleans. Houston in a battle of field goals, leading Cleveland 9-3. Tony Fritsch kicked 3. Jacobs kicked 1 for Cleveland.
You know, George Rogers had 162 yards in that game.
Well, they said he wasn't an Earl Campbell, but 162, that certainly smacks of that style.
He played like him today, I'm sure. Now, Joe Theismann and Joe Gibbs are talking here, and again, those last 2 completions were about 4 and 5 yards, and they have the first down now. And they'd like to get out into some safe areas so that they can start working the ball deeper. And he knows that he has to get the ball up the field a little more. And 2 minutes is plenty of time.
You know, CBS Sports Saturday brings you great racing. Pleasant Colony expected to continue his quest for Horse of the Year honors at the Marlboro Cup. And you'll see the World Individual Speedway Motorcycle Championship from London, England. Be here for the action next week, 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific on CBS Sports Saturday. What do you think about motorcycles, John?
I was thinking about the situation here. Motorcycles, I kind of engulf motorcycles. I like to be inside, have a roof over my head.
Well, it is 1st and 10 on the Skins 18. Theismann looking and now going left, and the catch made by Harmon, who is immediately driven out of bounds by Bill Courier.
Okay, Joe Theismann has to get a little excited here and again get something up the field, because he has to think in terms of 2 scores. Get one and then boom, an onside kick, and get another one. He can't mess around a lot down in this area of the field.
He has 1 minute and 53 seconds. We have a final score. Atlanta took a while, but they finally put Green Bay away 31-17, and Houston knocks off Cleveland 9-3, and Cleveland is 0-2.
Great start for Houston, 2-0.
2nd and 4. Theismann all alone is Harmon, getting out of bounds at the 30-yard line. They got it up to the 31, actually, and that'll be a first down. By the way, a tip of the hat, our executive producer of NFL football is Terry O'Neill. The senior producer, Charles H. Milton III. Today's game produced by Robert Stenner, directed by Tony Verna. Our thanks to Jason Shrinsky for his help in the booth, and to Dr. Bob Woods for all of his statistical help. And thanks to all the fellas who worked so hard and long to get the show on the road. Nice going, guys. 1st and 10 on the 31. Theismann looking at Harmon. They set a screen up for him to the 35 and tripped up by Brian Kelly and falls forward to about the 37 as the clock runs down.
You know, again, the Redskins have to think in terms of 10 points here. What they should try and do is get in position to kick a field goal, kick it, then go for the onside kick.
2nd and 4 for Theismann, deep down the left side, and it is made by Ricky Thompson. Flag on the play as Thompson made the reception. Terry Jackson was the man who hit him.
Now watch, we're going to see what happened here, Ben. Watch this. They start off and they're up there real tight, playing man-to-man, not letting them off the line of scrimmage, and then they go into a zone. Jackson is waiting back here. Now watch what happens. See, Thompson makes his cut. He's going to the sideline, and boom,
That was
see Jackson.
defensive pass interference, refused the penalty, give him the catch, and it's first down.
I was just telling him about it, Ben, because what happened is Jackson came in and hit Thompson before the ball got there, Ben. Thanks.
Is Ben listening to you, John?
Huh?
That's terrific. I wondered what that thing in his ear was. 1st and 10 on the Giant 46. Art Monk in a slot left inside Thompson. And dropped by Virgil Say. The little man was wide open, and Brad Van Pelt was there, and Say couldn't hold it.
And now watch this. This was Joe Theismann's 43rd pass today in this game, Ben, and that one was good enough. Say should have had this one. But watch him here. We see Taylor coming from the outside. He gets it. He finds Say, which is tough. He's only 5'8". Zips it in there. Down goes Theismann. Ooh.
That was Lawrence Taylor, who was fighting Wilbur Jackson to the death and finally got in there to get him.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
No, he did.
2nd and 10 on the Giant 46. Theismann, wobbly pass, and Harmon makes a good catch right away from Harry Carson.
And there's a flag out there, Vin, and I'm sure that's against the Redskins. It's in the area of holding.
1:08 left in the game. 17-7 Giants.
You know, that could have been exciting. Had Say caught that pass, he could have been, they would have been in field goal range. They could have kicked the field goal, gone back, kicked an onside kick, got it, and then gone for the end zone.
And he didn't catch it.
Well, they didn't catch it, so it came back to the line of scrimmage, then they had a play, and it was complete, and holding, as we see here.
Holding, number 73.
That's Mark May, the rookie out of Pittsburgh.
Offensive left tackle wouldn't have been a fun position to have played today.
Oh, no.
Now those guys, you know, it's tough. You play in there, you're in there, it's hot, sweaty, a lot of guys in there, you know. And the only time your name is ever mentioned is when you hold or jump off sides.
2nd and 20. The ball back on the Washington 44-yard line. Theismann looking down the left side and releasing. Great catch by Wilbur Jackson. He's at the 45 and carries it to the 40-yard line with 57 seconds and counting.
I'd still do that. I'd go for one more play, get a play in there and kick a field goal right now and then go on to win the game. Onside kick and win it.
It's 3rd and 4 on the Giant 40. And that is Otis Wansley, and he's hit by Currier. He dropped the ball after the whistle as Kelly fell on it, but it won't count. So the reception is made very close. Should be a first down if they spot it at the 35. And timeout Washington.
That's a first down.
And it is a first down with 37 seconds left in the game. Let's just see some numbers a moment. For Joe Theismann, after coming off a 48 pass game, he's now 25 for 45, 285, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. For the Giants, Sims is 8 for 26, 93 yards, 1 interception. Boy, that's a lot of passes. 48 last week and 45 today.
That is, in 2 games, he's played about a half a season throwing. Good next week there.
San Francisco at Atlanta. Folks in the nation's capital will see Washington at St. Louis. People in New York will see New Orleans at the Giants. And then across the country, a lot of people are going to see Green Bay at Los Angeles. And both of them are rankling, having been defeated today. New Orleans knocked off the Rams, and Green Bay living in a fool's paradise, leading Atlanta. And finally, Atlanta knocked them off. Denver leading Seattle 3-0 in the first quarter. That's a 30-yard field goal from John Steinfurt. 1st and 10 Washington on the Giant 35 with 37 seconds left. Heisman throwing to Harmon, and Harry Carson brings him down just about the 25-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down, but of course they're kind of giving him that stuff underneath.
They are. Now would be the time to kick the field goal. Wonder if they're thinking of that. Kick the field goal, the onside kick, because you have to think in terms of 2 scores, not 1.
They're not thinking that way at all. Heisman is looking for his man. He's going to throw it OB. Virgil Say was in the neighborhood. So that stops the clock with 13 seconds left.
Yeah, this happens a lot, Ben, when you need a combination of 2 scores. They spend the whole game, the time runs out working on the first one, and maybe taking a shot, boom, get one, and then try and get another one, because you need 2.
So Ray Perkins was talking about how he felt the Giants would be able to beat Washington, as you see Dallas leading 7-0. Ron Springs scoring from 1 yard out against St. Louis. And it looks like Perkins has pulled it off. Theismann all alone is Rick Walker, and Walker's down at about the 1. Beasley Reese hit him and prevented him from going in. And with 5 seconds, it looks like it's going to be academic anyway, John.
But it will. They'll have to spend this 5 seconds now getting the ball in the end zone.
17-7 in favor of the Giants. They came down here an underdog of maybe a touchdown or thereabouts. But for Joe Gibbs, a bitter disappointment. A fellow with a reputation of being an excellent offensive-minded coach, and to see his team sputter and shut out for the first half, it was small consolation to him that the Giants were doing the same, I'm sure.
It was, and I'm sure that in his game plan today that he had a lot of things that he wanted to do with both Joe Washington and John Riggins, and he lost both of them. Joe Washington on the second play of the game.
That's right. That's a big one. And they lost Monty Coleman in one of his linebacker spot. Ray Perkins, meanwhile, had his defense win it for him. Remember, Frank Marion recovered the fumble, and the Giants took it in. There was the partially blocked punt by Byron Hunt. And then finally you had Phil Tabor sack Theismann, who fumbled, and the ball was picked up by George Martin. So the defense did it all, really.
Right, and I felt that Phil Simms really in the first half had a tough time, but in the second half he came out and seemed to have a lot more composure and confidence.
1st and goal from the 1. Otis Wansley is in there now with Clarence Harmon, and they'll try Wansley, but the Giants, they all come over to congratulate him on a great career with Washington, and they do it before he can get in the end zone. Now this is Vin Scully speaking for John Madden, saying so long from RFK Stadium. Once again, the final score, Giants 17, Washington 7. Stay with us. CBS Sports presents the finals of the men's singles of the U.S. Open Tennis Championship from Flushing Meadow, New York. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League. The National Football League is a presentation of CBS Sports.
See you in a month.
All right, John.